Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. See, first is 2 Hare Krishna, then 2 Krishna, then Hare Hare, 2 Hare Hare, then Hare Rama 2 times, Rama 2 times, and Hare Hare. Okay, so you can write it down, or we'll just start practicing this mantra. Okay, so we'll start the class. It's already 5 o'clock. Okay. So whoever likes to recite the sloka can raise their hands when the sloka come. Okay. So we can call each of them. Not now, when the slokas come. Okay. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshulmedam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakata Mahyam Tadandi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapatakamelam Shri Guram Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagratacham Sahakarna Raghunatha Nitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahana Lalita Shri Vishada Ginamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavani Shri Vishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Haripriya Anjagalpada Basha Kripa Sindhe Pevaja Paditana Bhavani Pavishnavi Pegamana. Okay. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtabhaya Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prajane Nirvisheshunavati Pashyati Vishayane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. So okay, so today is the second class on the Gita. So the ISKCON Mangalore Children's Program, the day 2 welcomes you all. Okay, and then I'm Anishta Das Prabhuji. So I'm Dr. Aishwarya and I'll be your teacher. And hope you all have attended yesterday's session. Those who have not, no problem. Like we'll just the basics we are starting. So this is a summary of Gita. Okay, so the whole Gita, I told you 18 chapters, 700 slokas, all that is put in a nutshell in this chapter. That's why it's called Gita Saramsha. Saramsha means in a nutshell, the summary. Okay, what actually Gita is, we will come to know. And this is Srila Prabhupada, the ISKCON founder Acharya. Okay, so let us go. Now, quick recap. What was the 5 reasons what Arjuna was not ready to fight? Raise your hands. And please tell me at least one reason why Arjuna was not ready to fight. Yes, Shlok. What was the reasons? Any reason? Fast. If the thing comes like please unmute on your screen, please unmute and answer it. I'll just give you 1 second. If we are not answering, I'll go to the next person. Yes, Anushka. Anjali.
Anushka, unmute.
Yes, what is it? What is the reason?
Arjun didn't want to fight because he has his gurus and he does not want to lose his cousins.
Yeah, and compassion, no? That is like he felt compassion for them, right? Yes. Parthiv, what is another reason?
Indecision, Mataji.
Very good. Yes. Kushi, what is another reason?
Ma'am, sin.
Yes, he thought there will be sin by killing his elders and cousins. Very good. Yes, Satvik. What is another reason?
Mataji unmuted me.
Yeah, tell me the reason.
Mataji, one reason that it was a sin and Arjuna don't wanted to kill his own family.
Yes, family tradition will be lost and sin will be there. Very good. Yes. And Aditya, what is another reason?
Ma'am, because he was saying that if everyone will die, his family members, then who will enjoy with him after getting the land piece?
Yes, enjoyment, no enjoyment. Yes, Sai Pravalika, what is the last reason?
Sin, compassion, no enjoyment, and last reason was
indecision, that he could not decide whether to fight or not. Very good. So everybody knows the answer.
Mataji, another sin was that he would kill Bhishma, his best guru, right, Mataji?
Drona is the guru. Drona is their guru. Okay, fine.
Okay,
so,
Bhishma is his grandfather.
Yes. So compassion is another reason. Okay, so there are like 5 reasons you should know. This will be in your quiz. Okay, to select might be the reason, the correct reason or not the right reason. So first is compassion. As everyone was telling now, he was thinking how to kill his cousins and teachers and all. Compassion. See, you can see here Arjuna is confused, okay, and feared, and he started crying. He's in confusion. What to do? That is the first chapter. So compassion. And he thought, how can he enjoy without his cousins and all that? So no enjoyment. And sin. Like, see, there will be papa, no sin. If you kill your own teachers like Dronacharya and grandfather like grandsire like Bhishma, so that is a very sin. Grandfather like position, not the actual grandfather. Okay, the position wise, he is a grandfather, and family tradition will be lost, and indecision. He could not decide whether to fight or not. This is the yesterday's chapter summary. You should know the 5 reasons. Now, in this chapter, Krishna is going to answer all these questions, okay, in the coming chapters. So we will get some answers for this. Yes, who's going to chant this sloka? Fast, fast, fast. Ananya Acharya, can you start singing? Fast.
Ma'am, I can try. I'm not best in reciting slokas. Karpanya dostapatha svabhava prachimatam dharma samodateha yacharyasanya tistam brahutan me sisyate ham sadhi mantvam
Prapannam. Karpanyadosho fata swabhava prichami tvam dharma samuttacheda yashreyasya nishchitam brohitanme shishyaste hamsadi mam tvam prapannam. When you sing slokas, the Sanskrit has a meter called chandas. You need to sing in that meter. It's difficult for the beginning, but then you can actually listen to that meter and sing. Then it's easy. Okay, just see the words. Karpanya dosho fata. You all can sing. I'm not unmuting everyone. Plus, please sing in your home there. Okay, just sing with me. See the words. Karpanya dosho fata swabhava prichami tvam dharma samuttacheda yashreyasya nishchidam brohitanme shishyaste hamsadi mam tvam prapannam. So here Arjuna is telling Krishna, okay, who will read the Palak? Can you read the translation? What is it? The sloka? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Not I am
Confused.
sorry.
Yeah.
Not I am confused. In this
I'm confused about my duty condition. Somebody muted you. Okay, Sai Laksh. Can you read it?
Hello.
Vaibhav.
From where I should start? Now I am confused about my duty. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me clearly what is best for me. Now I am your discipline and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me.
Yes, very good. So this is the first sloka you need to memorize. Okay, please note it down. Take a notebook and write it 2.7. Okay, the first sloka in the first chapter was Dhritarashtra Uvacha, the 1.1 that you need to memorize. You already know it. Now this is the second sloka which you need to learn. There are many slokas in this chapter. I can't cover everything. One mother were asking me to teach you the slokas and the translation. It's not possible in this 18 days to teach you all the sloka, but we will try. Okay, and you need to do your homework. You need to memorize it. Okay, so once more, all sing from your place. Karpanya dosho fata swabhava prichami tvam dharma samuttacheda yashreyasya nishchidam brohitanme shishyaste hamsadi mam tvam prapannam. See, so Arjuna, he had this 5 things in mind. Okay, how can I kill my elders? How can I kill my teachers, my cousins? Compassion. Will it be sinful to kill them? How can I enjoy without them? Will the family traditions be lost? I'm indecisive to fight. And then what happens if you are in confusion? No, either you go to your elders, you go to your mother, father. Mothers are your best friend. Okay, you can go to them. You go to God. You can tell. Krishna was present literally in front of Arjuna. So what did Arjuna say? I'm confused about my duty. He's a kshatriya. He should fight, right? But he's confused. Now he's asking Krishna, please tell me what is best for me. Shreya means best. What is best for me? I am your disciple. Shishyaste. Shishya means disciple. That means Arjuna was seeing Krishna as his friend, Sakha. But suddenly Krishna became his guru and Arjuna became a disciple. So we all should be like that. We should become a disciple and let know Gita. And a soul surrendered unto you. He becomes surrendered to Krishna. And he's telling, please instruct me. What should I do? Okay. And Krishna accepts him. Okay. Now you can see here, no, he's asking Krishna, begging Krishna, okay, please accept me as your disciple. And what did Krishna do? Yes, see, Krishna is accepting. Krishna will accept, because if we surrender to Krishna, Krishna will surely accept you, because Krishna is there in your heart. Okay, in everyone's heart, Krishna is there. So as Paramatma. So in this sloka, this is a sloka where Arjuna is surrendering. Okay, so please note down, this is a sloka you should learn. That means he is becoming his disciple. Now Krishna start advising. Now see, is our vision actually perfect? Somebody asked me yesterday, did you see God? I'm not eligible to see God, because I don't have that devotion, or I'm not such a pure devotee of Krishna, or I don't have the anointment of love to see Krishna. But can we just know whether our vision is clear? Yes, Madhuri. Hare Krishna. B. Madhuri. Vaibhav. Hare Krishna, Roshan Prabhu. Are you there?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Who is unmuted? Ankit Reddy. Ankit. Just a small question. Ankit, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, ma'am.
Okay, so let us go for a drive, Ankit. Okay, and we have reached near a mountain. Okay, so we are getting out of the car, and you are seeing this. What is this, Ankit? What can you see here? We have reached to a hilltop. Okay, and we are seeing down. So what is this? What can you see here? Huh?
And sunset.
Yeah, sun already set it, and there's some mountain, right? And clouds, right? Yeah, so you can't clearly see, no, what is in the mountain. Can you see?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Ankit, let us go near. Now let us walk towards the mountain. Okay, now what can you see, Ankit?
Ma'am, a tree.
Yeah, there are a lot of trees. One tree is already visible, right? And let us go some more close. Okay, you went some more close. Now what can you see on the tree?
Ma'am, I can see a parrot.
Eating some fruit with some vegetable. Yes.
Kalavati madam joined.
Yes. Okay, so this is our vision. Okay, so our vision is so much it is not proper. Okay, whatever we are seeing now, whatever we are seeing is not, I can't unmute her. Okay, so whatever we are seeing is our imperfect senses. Okay, we are seeing a whole mountain, we could not see the trees, but when we went near, we could see the tree, and again little more near, we could see the parrot. That means this vision is so imperfect. Even if I have to see a microorganism, I need a microscope. To see the stars and celestial bodies, I need a telescope. So my eyes are not perfect. Not only my eyes, my ears, all my senses are imperfect, as we are human beings. So how can we see God? If we want to see somebody who is so superior like God, you should have that ointment of love. Premanjana churida bhakti vilojanena. You should have the ointment of love to see Krishna. And yes, Krishna is so merciful that he came in Archa Vigraham. The deity you can see, Krishna with a flute and peacock feather at our home, the photo, anything, all that is Krishna. And his holy name, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that is Krishna himself. So yes, we can see Krishna, and he is in our heart, everybody's heart, as Paramatma. Okay, we'll come to know where all we can see Krishna later. But I just want to make you understand that there are three forms of understanding God. Okay, first is a Brahma Jyoti. So what is a Brahma Jyoti? Brahmajyoti is a thing where there is so what is Brahmajyoti? Brahmajyoti means just a light. Okay, so first you can see a light around Krishna, okay, God. And some people think that this is God. Okay, they think this Jyoti is God. No, but that is not the thing. See, in Bible it is said man is made out of the image of God, right? So if man has 2 hands, 2 legs and all, why can't God have the same features? So this is the impersonal aspect. They think that God doesn't have a form. It's just a light. Second is they see as a Paramatma, the 4-handed form, okay, in our heart. So Krishna is in a form of Paramatma in our heart, the 4-handed form, okay. And last, as if we were going near the mountain, no? So we saw only the mountain. Then we saw the tree. Similarly, when we get to close to God, we can understand this level, second level. And the third level is Bhagavan concept. That is Krishna, the Shyam Sundar form of Krishna. I will explain to you. Okay, so there are 3 stages of God realization. First is Brahman stage. So what is Brahman stage? So Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan stage. Okay, so that is the 3 stages of Kalavati Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
I saw 2 Kalavati, that's why I got confused.
Okay, my chat. Okay, I'll read them myself.
No problem. Yeah, I got it. Okay. So yes. So please raise your hands. Yes, Markham. What is the Brahman concept? Brahman means the 3 way of understanding Krishna, right? So what is Brahman?
Brahman is light. Paramatma
So Brahman is Brahman is light. Okay, so see, you can see a light or glowing. Okay, so some people think that is God. No, that is not. That is the lowest level of knowing. Next is Paramatma. What is Paramatma, Makam?
Krishna himself who is situated in our heart.
Yes, in a 4-handed form, right? He's in 4-handed.
Universal form.
No. Universal form is something different. Don't confuse. Okay, the 4-handed form. Universal form have so many hands and legs, thousands. That Krishna shows to prove that he is God. No, that is in Vishwarupa. We learn in 10th chapter. This is the 3 stages of understanding God. First is Brahman, right, Makam?
Yes,
That
Mataji.
is a light, just light. They think that God doesn't have form. When you go close, you will realize that Krishna is in your heart as Paramatma. It is said, yeah. And then what is the highest level of knowing God, Makam?
Bhagavan.
What is that form?
Shyam Sundar form.
The 2-handed form, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, very good. Thank you. So this is how you should understand 3 levels of understanding God. Okay. So some people think that God doesn't have a form. How can you think like that? As I told you in Bible, it says man is made out of the image of God. So why can't God have a form? And then some people think that he is as Paramatma. Yes, Krishna is as Paramatma in our heart. Okay. So it is said in Bhagavad Gita itself, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hridesharjuna Tishtati. Okay, also it is said, Sarvasya Chaham Hriti Sannivishtam. Krishna is saying, Arjuna, I am there in everybody's heart, not only human beings. He is there in animals' heart, he is there in plants, he is there in all living entities as 4-handed form of Paramatma. But the top, and some people meditate. You have seen, no? Some people meditate on the Paramatma. Yes. The third is, the final stage is knowing Krishna as Bhagavan. What is Bhagavan? Bhagavan means with full 6 opulence. Parthiv, what are the 6 things Bhagavan has? Full in all 6 opulence.
Mataji, what is the question?
6 opulences of Bhagavan, like beauty, fame, knowledge, right?
Yes.
Everything is perfect in Bhagavan. So in the world, you can see somebody who's beautiful, but may not be educated, may not be wealthy. But Krishna have all 6 opulences. Okay, knowledge, wealth, fame, renunciation, everything is in Krishna. So, and strength, that is why he is called Bhagavan. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Okay, so these are the 3 stages of God realization. Brahmedi, Paramatmedi, Bhagavanedi, Shabdyade. So 3 forms of understanding God. Now, you'll think this light is God. Yes, this light is coming from the body of Krishna because he's so effulgent, he's glowing that you see the light around him. So don't mistake that is God. No, God has a form. And as Makam was telling, God is a person. Please don't have a concept like God is energy, God is love, God is this, that. No. Prabhupada says, Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita that Krishna is the two-handed form. We have proof from Brahma Samhita. It is said, Venum kanvantamaravinda dayaladaksham barhavatam shamashitam buddha sundarangam kandarpakoti kamaniya vishesha shopam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So this is the form of God. He is having a flute in his hand. He has a peacock feather and he is Shyam Sundar form. This is the form of God or Bhagavan. Okay, so there are three features of understanding Krishna. As when you go to an airport, okay, so when you go to an airport, so in from far away, what do you see? Like from far away, yes, Sai Laksh, what do you see? Like from far away, so many planes are parked, right?
Yeah.
So you can just see many planes there. So if you go inside, take your boarding pass and get inside the flight, then you can see people there, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when you really go inside your seat and inside the plane, then you can see your neighbors, everyone, passengers, right?
Yeah.
So similarly, the flight might look very small from far, but as you go near, you can see it's bigger and bigger. The flight is so huge, right? Similarly, God is also very huge. From far, we think that he's very small. No, he's huge. And from far, we can see only the light. But as you go near to God, how can you go near to God? By reading Bhagavad Gita, memorizing the slokas, chanting Hare Krishna. If you do that, you can realize Krishna. And that is the Brahman stage is the first. That's the lowest stage. Next is Paramatma, okay stage, and Bhagavan is the best stage of knowing Krishna. Okay, so these are the three stages to understand God or God realization. First, you should know who God is. Then we can know who we are actually. Okay, so let me ask someone. This looks like a class. Okay, yes, Srivatsa, Hare Krishna. So what is this? This is my
body, ma'am.
Yeah, but this is my hand, right?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
part. This is my eyes. This is my nose. So who am I then?
A human.
Am I this body? Body, actually?
Sorry.
Am I this body? This is, you're telling this is my hand, my eyes, my nose. And who am I then? If somebody, what is the difference between a living being and a dead person?
There is no God in the dead person.
No?
No God.
Not God, it's okay, something else different. Okay. So who am I? Am I this body? So I think, okay, I'm Aishwarya. I think I'm Aishwarya. Okay. That is my material thing. I think, see, this boy thinks this is his hair, his eyes, his mouth, his hand, we don't say no, I hand. I don't say I am the hand. No, it is my hand, my ears, my nose, my eyes. But who am I then? So what we are talking is the body. And this how this body is made up of? It is made up of 5 elements. Please note down: fire, water, sky or ether, air, and earth. This is the 5 things. See, if a person is living, okay, one person is dead. What is the difference between that living person and the dead person? Ananya, what is the difference? You would have heard about this. Is there any difference between a dead person and a living person?
Yes, Mataji.
What is it?
In living beings, the organs will work, and in non-living things, they don't work.
Yes, fine. But who is making it work? Ashwin Savant, you know?
Yes, ma'am, dead person don't have feelings.
Yes, that is also true. I'm not getting the right answer. Yes, Parthiv, what is the difference between a dead person and a living person?
Soul.
Very good. This is the answer I was searching for. Soul, presence of a soul. If that soul leaves the body, then that person is called dead. But if that soul is present in the body, then that person is alive. Okay. So this is what the basic lessons of Bhagavad Gita. I will tell you in detail. So we are not this body. See this body, and you can see in the heart there is a glow thing. That is the soul. Okay. I have seen in my hospital when I go for work, there are some people who die every day. You know this corona. But what is that is making that person? We tell that he died, but what is it actually happening? I remember when I was small, like I think some 6th standard, 7th standard, my grandmother passed away. She died, and then I was not able to understand because she was there in my hall, and I was asking my mother, what happened actually? What happened? My mother, grandmother is there, but who died? So that was a false thing I was thinking. I was thinking the body as that person. No, we are not this body. Okay. See this thing that the body that is seeing, no, this body is made up of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Okay. It can be lost anytime. But you should all know that we are spirit soul. We are soul. Okay. There is a soul, presence of soul in us. Atma. Okay, to be more simple, Atma, you've heard about Atma, no? Jivatma, okay, Atma. So this Atma, if it leaves the body, then that body is called dead body. So we are not this body. This is the first lesson in Bhagavad Gita. I'll give you one more example, 2-3 examples, then you will understand. The first lesson of Bhagavad Gita is that we are not this body. Okay, there is a car and a driver. Okay, so this car is going. Now, will that car move without the driver? Yes, obviously there are automatic cars nowadays, but still, this is a manual car. Okay. And will this car move? Palak, will the car move without the driver?
No, ma'am.
So there should be somebody who is driving the body, the car, right?
Yes. The
Yes.
driver.
Yes, thank you. Similarly, our body, which is made up of these material things, need to be driven by a force, and that is the presence of soul. Okay, consciousness. Somebody told, no, she can feel, the living person can feel, the dead person can't feel. So what is that makes the difference? Feeling and not feeling. This is the consciousness. I'm conscious now. Okay, I know what is the date today, what is the time, what is happening. Why that is making me conscious? It's the presence of soul. Similarly, a body is being driven by a soul, and along with soul, like, and another example I'll give you. You can see a bird in the cage. Okay, so what will happen if I just clean the cage and not feed the bird? Abhishek, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Abhishek. Yeah, so in this bird, you give some food to the bird, no?
Yes, Mataji.
Normally. So if I don't give food to the bird, what will happen to the bird?
Death.
Yeah. And
The
what if I
bird
just,
was dead, Mataji.
bird will die? And what if I just clean the cage? Just I'm cleaning the cage. I'm not feeding the bird. Okay. So I'm just cleaning the cage. I'm not feeding the bird. So it's like that now. What I'm thinking that I'm this cage, this body. I'm forgetting is the soul inside my heart. Okay, the bird. So I need to feed my soul. Every day I eat. That is for my body. But what am I supposed to do with the soul? And we are soul actually. We are. So see this mother. She's cleaning the cage, but she's not feeding the bird. And finally the bird dies. Similarly, if you keep they charge, they go fit. But what that, right? And all the problems in the world is because of the fact that we are not taking care of the soul. So as children, you should at least understand the fact that we are not this body, we are soul, and we need to feed the soul. Why I'm telling this is because I'll tell you how it will help you in life. And what is the food for the soul? How can you feed the soul? Can you give something to the soul so that the soul is active? And the soul is active, and yes, Avesha, You know what is the food to the soul? What can we give?
Chanting,
Very
doing
good.
Shiva for
Yes.
Krishna.
Yes. So chanting Hare Krishna is the best food we can give to the
And
soul. Okay. So chanting is one of the thing, calling upon God. You should always call upon God. And this is the mantra. Don't get confused. Okay. The mantra, it is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And chanting is usually done on the beads, the Jabamala, whatever possible time you can do, please do it. This is the food for the soul. Please don't forget, you are all children, you are studying to get good marks in college, get good job and settle in life. Fine, that you do. But along with that, you need to have some discipline in your life, some spiritual concept in life, so that it will help you in future. Okay, at least 10 minutes daily chant this mantra, so that your soul is awakened and your soul is not felt bad. I've seen children, people are getting depressed when you lose marks in exam, when you fail. It's natural. That's okay. Everybody can't get first rank in the class, right? But why should you be depressed for that? That's a simple thing. Don't get confused. Like, what is the real aim in life? And that is just temporary. Next time you study hard, you get again good marks, right? So it's not temporary. You don't get depressed for that. Okay. And anything bad happens in life, if somebody died, then you feel so sad. You cry, you go to depression. No, because we already learned that we are not this body, we are soul. And I will tell you the properties of the soul, that how the soul is. Now, we are spirit soul, we are not this body. Okay, so what I'm seeing outside, no, by hands, by this color, skin and all, it's made up of flesh, blood and all that. This is my body, and this body is made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether. Okay, 5 things, panchabhuta. This is my body. And then inside my body, inside my heart, I have a soul. Okay, the atma. Then I also have a mind. Okay, mind, intelligence, false ego. That is the subtle body. So 3 things. Understood? It's a little tough initially to understand this concept. That's why I kept on stressing it. Please read the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, just understand. Make it simple. Just understand. We are not this body. What are we? We are soul, and the soul is situated in the heart. Okay, you got this. Before that, I told God is in our heart as Paramatma. So this body, I'm not this body. Inside my heart, I have 2 persons. The soul, that is the Atma, which is driving like a driver in the car. He's driving this body. And along with the soul, there is Paramatma, Krishna also in my heart. Okay, now you won't get confused, no? So what are we? Are we actually this body? Okay, so you Abhishek, so you understood? We are not this body. What are we then? Yes, Abhishek. What are we?
Mataji, you unmuted
Yes.
me.
Yes, Niranjan. What are we?
Mataji, we are spirit souls. We are not the body.
We are not this body. And where is the soul situated, Niranjan?
Soul is situated inside our heart, and even Krishna
Yes.
is situated inside our heart.
As Krishna is in our heart.
As Paramatma.
Yes, Paramatma. So we have this body, and we are not this body. We have a soul inside us, that is inside the heart, and Krishna is also inside the heart. And we are soul, and Krishna is the super soul. Okay, Paramatma. Okay, this 3 things you should be clear. Now, this is an important sloka. Please note it down. 2.13. Somebody can chant fast. Akhil, you want to chant the sloka? If I unmute, please reply fast. Otherwise, I have to go to somebody else. Vijay, is there any Vijay? Please come in your name. When you enter the class, please rename your name, because I'm calling your father's name and mother's name. Yes, Archana. Archana. Yes, can you chant the sloka?
Mataji, I don't know.
Okay, the translation. You read the translation. This one.
As the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self realized soul is not believed by such a challenge change.
Bewildered. Okay. So the sloka says that देहिनोऽस्मिन् यदा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तदा देहान्तरप्राप्तिर्धीरस्तत्र न मोह्यति देहिनोऽस्मिन् यदा देहे. See, somebody who knows that we are not this body, okay, and the soul, what it does, it goes from kaumaram yauvanam jara, from boyhood to youth to old age. Okay, similarly, the soul passes to another body at the time of death. See, you can see here, I'll make it very simple. This girl, this boy, this baby is born right here. So you can see the white mark, that is the soul. Now this boy, okay, when you are born, you were like a small baby, right? And now you're grown up. Similarly, this boy grows up, okay, from boyhood, he's a boy, then he becomes Kaumara, youth, then he becomes adult, and finally he's going to old age. And then what happens after at a certain age, he dies. See, he died already. And then again, what happens? The soul, it's the same. See, you can see the white mark here. The soul is same. Please concentrate. It's very difficult subject to understand that the boy is growing, okay, but the soul is not changing. See the white thing in the heart, it is the same, but the soul is the same. The body is changing from boyhood to adult to old age. And what happens at the time of death, the so-called death? There is no so-called no death for the soul actually, but the body dies. A body, when it is useless, it is thrown, it is not there, and the soul leaves the body. Where does it go? It goes to another body, it takes another body. See, the soul passes into another body at the time of death, and who knows this is not bewildered, confused by this. If somebody dies, a devotee of Krishna says that yes, if he died, then he'll get a new body, okay, or he might go back to Krishna. Anything can happen, anywhere it is good. Okay, if somebody die in corona, so many people are losing their life, you don't have to be panic around this, because the soul never dies. The soul have no death, no birth. It is eternal. The soul doesn't die or take birth. It's the body who is taking birth. According to our karma, I take birth. Okay, so it is said, as the soul passes from this body, from boyhood to youth to old age, you can see the boy is growing from boyhood, youth to old age. So it is growing, the body is changing, but the soul is not changing. And at the time of death, what happens? The soul leaves the body and takes another body. To make it very simple, I'll give you an example. Now here you can see the soul is taking another body. See, here the baby is grown and then born and then grows, and when old age he dies. Okay, once death, you can see a white thing here. See, from this old man, this white thing, the atma, the soul, goes to another body, and again that person lives, again that person dies, again the soul goes to another body. So this process keeps on happening. This life of me as Aishwarya is not my first life. I have gone through many species of life, and I have come to this human form of life. This is not our first life. Okay, this is not our first life. We had so many lives before. You should understand that. See, why am I not born as Ambani's daughter, or why am I not born as a beggar's daughter? It's all our karma. You should know that why good things are happening to bad people. Okay, if as children you will have so much problems, might be in family, at school. Why all this is happening? It's the karma. That's not because of this life. We already had so many life. You should know this. The soul had taken so many body. So we are not this body. We are spirit soul. Okay, to make it one little more simple, I'll give you an example. Okay, so yes, Sai Ganesh, Hare Krishna. When you're small, you would have got a cycle, no, from your parents. Some people don't want to unmute. Yes, Sonit Sairam. Did you get a cycle when you were small?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, right? You got a small cycle, no, like this or something like this. Yeah? So you were riding it. Yeah. So now you're in 5th standard, is it? Did you get a bigger cycle?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, when you in LKG or UKG, you got a small baby cycle. But when you're grown, you got a bigger cycle, right? Okay. So for example, you have reached college now. Okay. So you will get some two-wheeler, no? Something bigger. Your brothers would have got something bigger. Okay. And again, once you become big and got a job, or you started going to your office or your workplace, then you'll get a car or a four-wheeler, right? So first we got a cycle, a tricycle, that is when we were young, very young, baby cycle. As you grow, okay, it might be like 4th standard, 5th standard, you get a two-wheeler, okay, two-wheel cycle. Then when you go to college, like most of you are like 10th standard and all, but once you pass that 18 years, when you cross, you get a two-wheeler when you go to college, okay, and then you can drive a car after that, you're grown up. Similarly, but okay, you are only driving all these vehicles, right? Satvik Rao, what's your name? So you're only driving, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, so did you change the person did you change, or the vehicle changed? What happened?
Vehicle, Mataji.
Vehicle changed, right? You remained the same, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Similarly, yes, Satvik. So similarly, our Atma, the soul remains the same, but the body is changing. Okay. So as I'm growing, I was having a baby body first. Then I became little old. Then I become little more. So, and after some 20, 30 years, I'll become old, right? But does that means my soul is changing? No, my body is changing. My body is going through old age system. But the Atma, the soul, doesn't have change. So as you are driving this cycle, this scooty, this car, you are the same person throughout, but the vehicle is changing. So it's the same way, this body is like a vehicle to us, and we have an engine inside, that is the soul. If there is no soul in the body, the vehicle doesn't work. If there is no engine, then there is no machine doesn't work. Similarly, if there is no soul within me, then I can't talk, I can't breathe, I can't do anything. I'll be called as dead. So that is the difference between death and a living person. So you should understand that the body changes. Dehinosmin yada dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tada dehantara prapti dhirastatrana muhyati. So the body is changing from young to old age to boyhood to youth to old age. But what happens? The soul doesn't die, and at the time of death, the soul leaves the body and goes to another body. Okay, this one we should understand. This is the simplest way I can explain. So please read it, you can understand. And I told you, this is not my first life. You can see a shining thing in the heart. I have been so-called Aishwarya. Okay, I have been a crab in my past life. I have been a fish. I have been a tortoise. I have been a whale. I have been a snake. I have been this birds. I have been a plant. I have been so many animals. I have been a monkey. And finally, I have got this human form of life. And Shastras don't say the Darwin's theory of evolution that we came from monkeys. No, I'll prove it that. I'll prove to you that we don't come from monkeys. Okay, might be in the later chapters. So this human body, I got it after 84 lakh species of life. Just imagine, you're also lucky. You've got this human form of life after so many janmas. Okay, the soul have got this human form. And what is the difference between humans and animals? What is the difference, Preet? You know the difference? What is the
Mataji, we have perfection and they don't have perfection.
Yes, perfection in the sense what? What is the perfection?
Like as we do in work, we have proper work we do, but they don't have that proper kind of work which we do.
Yeah, can animals pray? Can animals chant Hare Krishna? Can
No.
animals learn Bhagavad Gita? Can
No.
you call so many cats and dogs and make them learn?
No.
Right? Yeah, but the humans have that capacity to think and capacity to understand Shastras and understand the aim of life and try to go back to God. Okay, so this human form of life, Please don't waste it. I'm deadly against this. ISKCON is deadly against suicide. So many children, when you are in 10th standard, just because your parents didn't buy something for you, just because you failed in exam, just because you had some problem in relationship, why doing all this? You have got this human form of life after so many janmas. You know, if you commit suicide, you become ghost, and ghost is like very very painful situation, that you don't have a body to be with. That soul will loiter around, that soul will wander around, and that's not good for you. And you know what, the material nature, if you have ended this life in a wrong way, then again you become an animal. You won't get a human life after that. Again you have to go through all these janmas. It is very difficult. You don't know, you don't remember, because Krishna is so merciful that he make you forget your past life, so that you can live happily here. If you would have remembered all your janmas, you would have gone crazy. Okay, so this is how precious our human life is. Okay, durlabham manava janmam. Prahlad Maharaj says it's very rare to get a human life, so please don't waste it. Okay, you're all good children. Do your studies, that is your karma. You do your duty. Same time, you chant Hare Krishna, you read Bhagavad Gita, have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita in life. It will really help you when you go to college, when you go to your workplace. Okay, it will help you. So just understand, we are not this body, and we are spirit soul. Okay, and we have been going through so many species of life to get a human form of life. Okay, so I already explained this. So next sloka is Matra Sparshestu Kaunteya. Yes, Charvi, please recite the sloka fast.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, fast.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Matra Sparastu Kaunteya Sitosna Sukadugdha Agampa Paniyo no Nityastamastik Saswaha Bharata.
Translation.
O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress, and their disappearance is due course, and are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons.
Yes. So it's talking about the happiness and distress. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are sad. Why this is happening? Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhada agamapayino nityas tamsti dikshava bharata. So I will tell you, you know, summer and winter, it keeps coming and going, right? See, in summer season, there's so much leaves on the trees, and it's so much fruits will be there, mangoes, everything. But then winter, what happens? All the leaves are gone, right? It will just fall. Similarly, a coin has two sides, right? So happiness and distress or sorrow is like two sides of the same coin. When you toss the coin, either it will fall this way or that way. Similarly, sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are sad, and this is not permanent. It is non-permanent. It's temporary. Okay, like what? Like coming of summer and winter. So summer season comes, then winter comes. Again summer comes, winter comes. Winter doesn't stay for a long time. Rainy season doesn't stay for a long time. Similarly, when happiness comes in life, it is for short time. And when sadness comes in life, that is also short time. So after every happiness, there is sadness. After every sadness, there is happiness. So this is all a karma coming back. So don't get disturbed in happiness and sadness. Whereas children, you'll have some problem at school, some children will have some problem at home, but don't get disturbed. That will go off, okay, just for a short time. It is said, Shidoshna Sukha Dukkada. Krishna is telling, don't get tensed by this. Okay, and the next sloka is Na Chayede Miryade. Okay. Yes, Archana, can you read the sloka? If it's difficult, please read the translation. Hare Krishna.
Ma'am.
Translation. This one you read. For the soul, there is, you're muted. For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing. Na jayate mriyate va kadashin, nayam bhutva bhavita va na puja, ajo nitya sasvato yam purane, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So there is no birth or death for the soul. I told you, if somebody dies, it's the body which is dying, not the soul. See, you can see this person. This is the body, outside body, which is made up of earth, water, fire, ether, air, and fire and air. So the middle part, okay, that's the soul, the presence of the soul. So that soul, it doesn't die or take birth. What happens? It is unborn and it is eternal. Okay, so it is unborn and it's eternal, ever existing, like Krishna. See, God is also Satchit Ananda. It is said in Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha Anatir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of everything. And Krishna is Satchit Ananda. That means he is eternal. Okay. Satchit Ananda. What is the meaning? Sat means eternal. That means unborn. Eternal means unborn. Never dies. Chit is full of knowledge. And Ananda is bliss or happiness. So Krishna is Satchit Ananda Vigraha. And as sons of Krishna or as part and parcel of Krishna, Amsha of Krishna, we are also Satchitananda. And a soul is never take birth nor die. When a baby is born, the soul is not born. The soul was already there. The body take birth. And somebody dies, don't get worried because the body died. The soul didn't die. The soul will never die. Where will the soul go? It goes to another body and it continues life. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, no, don't worry by killing Bhishma and Drona and your cousins. They don't die. They are not the body. They are soul. So even if you kill Bhishma or Drona, they are old anyway and they are pious people. So even if you kill them, either they get a good body, new body, or they can go back to God. Okay, they get mukti or liberation. So this is what Krishna is telling to Arjuna, but indirectly he's telling us that we don't have to get worried when some people die of corona or cancer or anything in life. Everybody has to die. Even I have to die. Everyone, even Brahma, to a small ant, they all have our expiry date written, right? Like manufacturer date, expiry date. So why are we worried about death? No, we don't have to be worried about death. We should understand the fact that there is no death, so-called death. The body dies, but the soul is still alive and the soul goes to another body. Okay? But you need to prepare for the death. You can't just think that, oh, anyway, I'll die. Let me enjoy this life. No, you have another life coming up. So you'd want a good life next, right? You don't want to be an animal next life. So you need to prepare for the next life. How can you do that? By doing devotional things, by chanting and everything like that. Okay? So this is our next sloka. Nainam chintati shastrani, nainam dahati pavaka, na chainam kledayantyapo, na shoshyati maruta. So it is saying the properties of the soul. The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon. So Arjuna is thinking how to attack with a weapon. Like he had bow and arrow. How can I kill somebody with a weapon? But then Krishna is saying the soul can never be cut. A body can be cut. If somebody stamps someone with a knife, the body can be cut, but the soul can never be cut. And next is, it cannot be burned. If somebody put fire, the body burns, but the soul never be burned. And it cannot be moistened. You can't throw water and wet the soul. Okay. So, and it also not withered by the wind. You can see the soul here. So even if the water or fire, anything comes, the soul is not attacked. Okay. Nothing happens to the soul. This is the property of the soul. You should know that you can't wet the soul, you can't cut the soul, you can't destroy the soul. Okay, you can't destroy. And what else Krishna says? Okay. Yeah, he says, "O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield." Okay. What will happen if Arjuna dies? He'll attain heavenly planets because Arjuna has been a pious person, right? He's doing dharma of a kshatriya to fight. So even if you fight and you die in the battle, what will happen? Your atma will go to heaven because you have done good things. Okay. And if you conquer or if you win, don't lose. And if you win, what will happen? You will enjoy the earthly kingdom. That means he will get the kingdom, right? If he win. So therefore, get up and fight with determination. So two things Arjuna can have. Arjuna has a choice. Either he need to fight, or he has not to be. If he he has to fight. In that he has two things. Either he can win or he can lose. If Arjuna lose, what will happen? He will die. If he die, what will happen? His soul go to heaven. Okay, because he have done good things. If he win, okay, he doesn't die. What will happen? He can get the kingdom. So in either way, this is another question of Arjuna. What enjoyment I will have if I kill my cousins? So Krishna is saying, either way, you win or lose, you have enjoyment, because either you can enjoy in heaven or you can enjoy in this earth, okay, as a king. So these are the two things Krishna is advising Arjuna, that he has to do his duty. See, Arjuna is asking Krishna now what to do. So Krishna is saying, either you die, okay, so this is heaven, okay, and you can see all the Pandavas in heaven. They're enjoying in the heaven. In heaven, it's all Deva, Devatas are there. You can enjoy, okay, in heaven. Whoever have done punya, they go to heaven. Okay, but that is temporary. I will let you know in later chapter. Now, that is one thing. Or if he win, what will happen? He can become the king, or Yudhishthira can become the king, or he can also rule the kingdom, right? So either way, lose or win, he can enjoy. And he also says, your enemy will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What should be more painful for you? So Krishna is saying, Arjuna, if you don't fight, a Kshatriya's duty is to fight. Okay, if you don't fight, what will the enemies, the Kauravas say? Oh, Darpok, he has become coward. He's not, he's not brave enough to fight us. So they will say unkind words and they will insult him, right? That will be very painful for Arjuna. He can't run off. He has to do his dharma or duty. Okay, and there's one more thing. It is said in 2.40, Neha Vikrama Nasosti Pratyavayo na vidyade Swalpamapyasya dharmasya Trayado Mahadopayat. Please note down 2.40. You need to know the sloka. It is said, any endeavor in this endeavor, there is no loss, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from most dangerous type of fear. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya. See, I will tell you the story, okay? So there was a rat, a small rat, and this rat was going in temple. You've seen, no, when you go to temple, sometimes old temples, they'll have the small rats running around. Yeah, and some people, they light this ghee lamp, right, to offer to Krishna, and they keep it to God, and they keep it. So this rat, he was thinking of eating a cherry, but he didn't get anything. Suddenly, in the dark room, he saw this lamp glowing. He thought, that is something to eat. Okay, they have this consciousness of eating. And this rat ran towards the lamp, and just with his mouth, he caught hold of that lamp. What happened? It started burning. The whole mouth, it started burning, and he didn't know what to do. So with his head in front of God in that temple, he did like this, okay, just to get rid of that lamp. And he died because he got burnt, right? But just because he did it unknowingly, that some kind of arati to God, he went back to Krishna. So this is the thing. Even unknowingly you do something, Krishna will protect you. Okay. Some people will tell, no, kya hai, Hare Krishna, you are chanting. What is this? Let them tell. Even if they tease, it is good for them. Okay. So anything, swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayado mahado bayat. Any small thing that is done in this path of bhakti, or like you're learning Bhagavad Gita, you're trying to understand the concept of Bhagavad Gita. So this will all protect you from dangerous type of fear. One more story is about Ram and the squirrel. So squirrel did a small service, okay? When Ravan kidnapped Sita Mata and went to Lanka, okay, they had to build a Sedu Bandhan. No, you can see here all the monkeys are building the bridge across. So what happened? Yeah, so they were building the Sedu Bandhan, and all big stones, they were writing Ram, and it was throwing on the sea, and it was floating. You know the story. So the squirrel, it was a small animal. What it did, it took some small pebbles in his hand and he started running and putting on the sea. And Hanuman and others were thinking, what is he doing? How can a bridge be built with such a small pebble? They started teasing him. And Hanuman took the squirrel with his hand and threw him. And finally, the squirrel fell on the ground near the feet of Ram. And Ram took the squirrel and started patting. And Ram told everybody that squirrel is trying to do his best. Hanuman is so huge. Other monkeys are huge. They can lift big rocks. But squirrel is such a tiny animal. So it can hold only a small piece of stone. So let it do his work. Whatever he is doing is valuable. Okay. So I'm already 6 o'clock. I will end the class. Just two, 3 slides more. Okay. And Hanuman also, when his tail was burnt, he didn't know what to do. He went to Sri Lanka and burned the whole Lanka. So he is also trying to serve Ram. So whatever small thing you do is valuable. Okay. Krishna will take care of it. Whatever small thing. And in Kali Yuga, we are in Kali Yuga. Please do the dharma of Kali Yuga, which is chanting the holy name. Okay. Kalo tat hari kirtanat. So chanting the holy name is the only solution for Kali Yuga. I will explain to you why this holy name is important Kali Yuga in later classes. You can see this is ISKCON Gurukul, where small boys are sitting and chanting the Krishna's name, and the whole family is chanting a kirtan. And see the American boys, how they get dressed up in Indian dress, and the girls are chanting. So chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This chanting is the Kali Yuga dharma. As a dharma in Kali Yuga, we should always chant this holy name. Okay. And the takeaway message is that we are not this body. We are spirit souls. And happiness and distress will come and go. Okay. It is temporary. We should surrender to Krishna. Arjuna surrendered to Krishna. Please accept me as your disciple. And we should always chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Okay, this is what we should do. And this is a takeaway lesson. And these are the slokas to memorize. I will send you the PDF of the class. Try to send it today itself or tomorrow, please, because I'm really busy with something. So there is slokas to memorize is 2.7, 2.13, 2.14, 2.20, 2.23 and 2.40. There are many slokas, but this is the main slokas you need to know. 108 important slokas. Out of that, some of them is these. Okay. So try to remember the slokas and understand that we are not this body. We are spirit soul. That is the lesson today. Okay. Don't get confused. If you have any questions, you can ask. We'll break to rooms. It's already 6 o'clock. So this is the mantra to be chanted. Many people were confused about the mantra. It is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. So this is the mantra. And yes, so today's class is done and we can take up questions. Kalavati Mataji, you're there, no?
Yes, Mataji.
Bhushan Prabhu.